Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, June 3rd, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a reverse aging health call tonight at 9 p.m. Every tomorrow has two handles. We can take hold of it with the handle of anxiety or the handle of faith and reward Beecher. We carry on this planet, in these bodies, I should say the bodies do, a distortion. And the body is distorted because we, the gods in the body, have a form of amnesia. So we don't know who and what we are. And we're in a process of rediscovery. Stress-free beings, stress-free beings, are ordinary people just like any of us. Yet they have adopted a variety of different ways of seeing, interpreting, and understanding this world that allows them to fully live in this world, yet not get caught in its drama. The danger is that when we get caught in the drama, we create more drama. The beings who are always relaxed inside, free from any kind of stress, have a constant expanding perception of themselves. They know no limits to what is possible. They also know no destination other than now. They experience no hesitation, procrastination, or postponement of their lives because life is too juicy being here now. The stress-free being loves life too much to be stressed out about it. Their mind does not get stuck in judgments of themselves or others and releases them the instant they arise. They have no resistance to life's multidimensional barrage of experiences. Thus, they hold no tension in their body's nervous system. Any stressful constrictions of blood vessels caused by adrenaline rushes, doubt, fear, or anger are instantly released so they can dive deeper into more experiences of joy, love, and freedom. They simply have their priorities straight. A stress-free being isn't trying to avoid an early death because they are too consumed with loving life, enjoying the illusion of it all, and having a great time all the way to the grave. They know that everything is always going to change, and they trust they are always guided in this constant changing flow of life. When they connect with other people, they know it may be their last moments together, and yet are relaxed because they understand that everyone is an infinite being who will never, ever, ever die. Because this wisdom circulates in their thoughts, emotions, and physical body, they are constantly tapped into a perpetual flow of bliss within themselves. Stress-free people have learned one key technique. That stress is the number one signal from the body to stop whatever they are doing and let it all go. They know avoidance strategies don't work, and to ignore this signal and keep doing will only cause future pain. They only want to transcend the mental prison of their ego's agenda. Even though they've practiced the art of letting go and releasing for years, they always consider themselves to be a student. They are always learning. They've truly come around to embracing their own innocence. They can see and feel that within the innermost core is this pure being. They know this is the simple ecstasy everyone is seeking. People who embrace a stress-free way of life have a very playful energy. The entire universe is their playground. They play with all kinds of people from all walks and worlds. They also welcome any experience they come in contact with. They know how to easily handle any negative thoughts that arise in the mind. They never take these negative things too seriously and choose instead a playful approach on the inner world as well as the outer. A stress-free being resists nothing. When negative feelings and a grumpy state enters the mind, they invite it in openly and experience the pattern it's holding fully. Everything that occurs in their mind, emotions, and body are welcome as a guest that is here to visit for a short time. They know the bigger picture of this life, so they can welcome each thought and feeling and not get stuck in them. They see every negative thought as a small water rapid down the infinite river of life. And so they kick back and relish the ride over them. Someone who constantly lives in the stress-free zone has tapped into the truth of their being. They live each moment connected to the truth that they are an infinite being that knows no death. They know that the body will come and go, yet who they are cannot be harmed or impacted by the outer world. When you fully embrace this knowing, it is impossible to stress, to exist. It is impossible for stress to exist in your world, for you realize that all outer world situations are temporary experiences that cannot touch the beauty and lightness of your being. Realize the truth, and you will be truly free. You are not this mind, not this body. You are this radiant, eternal light that cannot be dimmed in any way, shape, or form. Your true self continues to shine brightly through all the adventures of being a human being that the mind may label as stressful. Whatever may cause your mind to feel stressed out is simply the mind being overly attached to a certain limited thought or form. When you realize the truth of who you are, the mind has to let go automatically, and you are free. Below the three powerful practices that can support, which I will share, when you realize the truth of who you are, the mind has to let go automatically. When you realize the truth of who you are, the mind has to let go automatically. You are, and you're free. Now, the first thing that we always do is quiet our minds. This is what we do in these guided meditations. Quiet the mind. The meditative mind is divine mind. It is simply being here in the now. It has become so relaxed that it is actually laser focused, pointing towards mindfulness in the now. Every stress-free being will tell you there is no better moment in your life than this one that is happening right now. Meditation is a way to quiet the mind so you can see that all experiences, negative and positive, are paths for the soul to discover this higher universal source. A quiet mind can hear their intuition clearly so they can establish deeper connections with everyone in the world and manifest a much more peaceful experience of this life. A quiet mind is much easier to live with than a busy mind. Celebrate what is now. Attachment to your past and future is what creates the greatest amount of stress in your life. Attachment to your past and future is what creates the greatest amount of stress in your life. Since this moment is the only thing that is real, choose to be constantly celebrating what is happening now. If you are experiencing a problem, celebrate it. The problem will soon be a deep, eternal loving in disguise. Life is actually not about overcoming your problems and karma. It is a celebration of all opposites until there is equanimity in the mind and complete balance of emotions, which leads you into total freedom of consciousness. How could the mind know light without shadow or depth without shallowness? The mind exists in a state of perpetual ebb and flow of the tides. Celebration of this play is what makes you a master of your life. Whatever it is that's happening in your life right now, there is some way you can celebrate it. There is always another door opening where one has closed. Now is that moment that is filled with this life's amazing qualities. Just realizing this little secret will assist you greatly in choosing to see the miraculous instead of the mundane wherever you are. Remember your infinite nature. As you go through, as we all go through our days, pause regularly to remember this simple truth. We are all eternal beings who will never die. We are souls in a body who will only change form. We will be reborn again if we want to or not. If and when we have enough awareness, we can choose to master this existence and then experience anything we want to. The infinite quality of our own being is obvious and very real. It is just like the sun, always shining, always bright, and super warm. And yet the sun is a grand understatement to describe the brilliance of who we really are. When you discover the true enormity inside yourself, everything will change. And the outer world will no longer impact you in a negative, fearful way. This universe will welcome you to explore this limitless divine self everywhere you go on its playground. So for the next 7 days, we do a lot of 7 days. It's all about practicing within. Anytime you start getting stressed out about something, practice celebrating what is. Simply say to yourself, I choose to celebrate existence right now. Say it as often as you choose. I choose to celebrate existence right now. I choose. It's a choice to celebrate existence right now. Life is just too good to not make this choice, even if you don't understand why. Look for the deeply eternal loving that is hidden behind this so-called problem and celebrate it as an opportunity for growth. It is your chance to quiet your mind and realize your infinite nature. Remind yourself when you notice stress arising inside that you are an infinite being that will not die. Notice what happens. Play with this and welcome all that life challenges you. Your job is to intimately know yourself as that which is permanent and can never be harmed, hurt, or changed. So we have this choice. You can look at this world, right? And then you could just totally get stressed out. Looking at the past and the future. What's going to happen? How's it going to happen? What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? Instead of celebrating every moment, moment to moment. And it seems when we get in these stuck habits, when we're in these bodies, and we have difficulty navigating, because we fall into the trap of the ego mind. And when we still the ego mind, subconscious mind, the chatter's gone. And we're only in the now. And literally, the now is the only thing that's real. Everything else is an illusion. You see how tight we've gotten with these bodies. So we fear, we worry, we stress. Because we're afraid that the body's going to end, it's going to hurt, and all of the unknowing and all of the unsuredness. Yet, the body is a mere vessel, temporary. We could stay in it 1,000 years, 100 years, 10,000 years. But eventually, we'll leave it and take on other adventures. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, which I'm sure we all are, and the first thing that we care to do, relax the body. Relax the body you're in, because we all know we are not the body. We are not the personality. We are not the character. We are not the appearance. We are not our status in this life. We are the God within that body. So when we focus on the now through our breath, easy and slowly in through the nose, easy and slowly out through the mouth, we immediately switch tracks. And we're in the now. And the ego mind is not there. This is the only way to master the ego mind or subconscious mind. It doesn't exist. It can't. This is why it's constantly banging on us to stay out of the now, to stay in the past or the future, to get quagmired in stress, anxiety, and fear, worry. Because when we go into the past or the future, we suffer. Why would we do that lifetime over lifetime? We suffer. It isn't rocket science to understand that all of us, any of us, can move into the now. And we practice it. I'm not saying you stay there, because most don't stay there until they truly master the ego mind. But every little bit of the time you can spend in the now is paramount. Now each of us put out over 60,000 thoughts every 24 hours. There's no interruption, it's just constant. We have tens of millions, billions of thoughts flying by like clouds in the sky. And those thoughts are not our thoughts. Maybe once in a while, one will be. Rarely. And we still all that. We still it all. Only in the now. Now, it's a good idea. In fact, it's a practice that we talk about a lot in these guided meditations, is that we are to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves at all times. We practice the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, the purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. So the gratitude is our glue, while in the now we're always grateful. Doesn't matter what it is. You'll get in the habit of being grateful for everything. And it'll be automatic. You'll just look at something and say, I'm very grateful for this. Or I'm very grateful for my surroundings. Or I'm very grateful for the body I'm in. I'm grateful for the rain. I'm grateful for the wind. It's always a practice of gratitude in this life. It's 24/7 being grateful. And you're not grateful to get something. You're grateful just because you're grateful. Now, the ego mind does have a tendency to be able to, we got a cloud come by, we grab it, we float off. Not a big deal. The key is that we recognize it. Thoughts come in. And some of these thoughts you go, I don't really care to have that thought. So you say to yourself, cleanse, clear, delete from all existences, dimensions, and beyond. And it'll be gone. So when you practice the now and you know that you float off, we all do. You just focus on your breath and you'll be in the now 3,000% of the time. And that's every time. We're so conditioned to be what? Past, future, future, past, past, future, future, past. So it doesn't make sense to us that we float off at times and we get frustrated and irritated, and none of us are exempt from that. But we do have a knowing. As we practice these global guided meditation calls, we begin to understand that we have a knowing. You know the knowing is? The knowing is the God within that body. So picture yourself standing in front of three paths. Now, the one you're standing in front of is the now. Right? And you look down and there's it's like a gold circle. And you notice that the trees have formed canopies over those paths, and the shimmering gold, and the leaves are gold, and the bark and the branches. You look at the path itself, it's a brilliant emerald green flaming grass. It appears to be grass. And you look at the path on the left, which is the past. That thing's been used a lot. And you look at the path on the right, the future, and that's been used a lot. The path in the now looks almost brand new. It's because the ego mind is on overtime trying to keep you out of the now. Now, we all go into the past. We reminisce, things come on, thoughts will come in, and we realize certain things that we've experienced, and we really had fun at those times and wouldn't mind doing them again. We also will look at things that, as a guide sometimes, reference things, and the past is the subconscious mind. And it's like a great hall. So when we reminisce and we look at things and experience things over again, and it's fun, and use some guidelines to do things differently that didn't work then, that may work now. So we'll go in our great hall. We'll open the door, turn on the light, And when you walk into a room, you look at the walls. I mean, whether you're conscious about it or not, you look at the ceiling, you look at the walls. But in this hall, every one of us have one. There's no walls and there's no ceilings. It's so vast. It has everything in there because the subconscious mind records everything, every smidgen, and plays it back. So you go in, you'll pick some movies, books, and pictures off the shelves, and you'll go sit in an easy chair, and in front of you is a screen. It's just floating there. It's not attached to anything. And so you watch some of the movies, and you look at some of the pictures, and you read some of the books. But then you'll take them and you'll put them away, and you'll turn off the light, shut the door, and you'll move forward in life, and at times you will revisit. But there are others who stay there too long, and I believe it is unconscious. They stay there so long that they take the past, they bring it into a future that doesn't exist, they create the future from that past, and they relive that past in that future. This is why you'll see some people that will say, no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. Now, all of us at times, because the ego mind pokes us, pushes us, antagonizes us to go into the future and find out what's going to happen. Find out when you're going to have things and get things and do things and interact with things. So we'll go into the future and we seek external authority. We want to know. We're anxious, in a hurry. And so we want to know certain things. So there's a lot of external authority that will give you insight. You have astrologers, clairvoyants, psychics, card readers, all kinds of tea leaves, read tea leaves, palm readers. And now some of us will take this information in and we'll just kind of kick it aside. Others of us will look at it and say, this is great, and intend it, and then leave it alone. And others will fixate on it. They'll just, every day, count the days. The external authority might say a month from now, right? Or whatever the time is. And those people will latch onto it. And they'll have high expectations. And then they'll have high attachments to the outcome of what they were told. It won't happen. The ones that just blew it off, who knows? The ones that identified it, embraced it, and then left it alone, that's where the manifesting comes. The manifesting is moving energy into a form, creating it into reality, and experiencing it. So we're constantly wanting to know. You ever feel that pull? The unknown, not knowing things, and you get irritated, frustrated, in a hurry, stressed out, because you just don't know when something's going to happen, and you want it to happen like yesterday. And all of us have done it. It's not a negative, it's just another experience. But in the now, it is absolute exact. It is all that we have and will ever have. And it is the only real. The rest is illusion. When you look at all the benefits of being in the now, it's like, why wouldn't we all be motivated to make the choice to stay in the now, to go within? Now, we have parts of ourselves, gods that we are. They're stone cold asleep. Stone cold asleep. We have other parts of us, the gods that we are, that are awake to a certain extent. Consciously aware means that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Now the stone colders, nothing, blank. Blank. Does it mean we don't love them any more than we love the God part of ourselves that's awake? No. It's like the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. Their civilization, they vibrate at a different frequency than we do. But the God within them is the same as the God within us. Ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, Amoria, Medantia, Pel, Tha, Yao, Yeshua. They've all been in bodies, more than once, just like us. They became consciously aware, just like we're doing. They hold pure consciousness, pure God form. So do we. You know the difference is? We haven't discovered who and what we are. That's the only difference. And we're all one. That's never going to change, ever. So it's like all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, agartha, and beneath earth. The gods within their physical forms are no different than the gods in our physical forms, and we're all one. The off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials, same thing. You see, as you begin to choose to understand, and you go in the now, and you see this, you feel it, you understand, and that the vessels we inhabit are temporary, and the gods that we are eternity. See the big difference there, isn't there? Why would we fear leaving the body? Because we don't know who and what we are. We don't know who and what we are. Is that a negative? No. We have amnesia. I think we all know that. Is that a negative? No. It gives us an expression and an experience to discover who and what we are when we choose. Many don't choose because they're too asleep. They will wake in their own time. And again, it's a choice. Every now, when you're focused on being in the now, and being in gratitude 24/7, and embracing anything that comes at you, right? Experiencing it, and then it literally vanishes. So you look at everything that comes to you as an experience. That's what we do. We learn, don't we? And we're all helping. Believe it or not, we're all assisting. When you realize that, what do the archangels do? They continually send us messages. They have been for many lifetimes. And there's one message that they send that's above all others. And that message is isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? Because then you realize that the body is temporary and the God is forever. It's within the body. So you're in deep gratitude because since we don't have a reference point when we enter these bodies and we have amnesia, it's difficult for us to, say, okay, well, let's compare this and this. You can't. So it's a self-discovery. And you begin to feel, you'll feel a knowing. You'll be drawn like people are drawn to this global guided meditation every day because they want to know and they want to remember. But as a ball of light, pure plasma, omnipotently powerful cosmic energy, pure deep eternal love, we don't do anything even close to what we do in these bodies. We don't eat, we don't sleep, we don't drink, we don't have glasses of water, we don't enjoy nice dinners, we don't make love, hold hands, kiss, we don't laugh, we don't cry, we don't run, we don't breathe. None of that. And you see why there are so many gods wanting to get into physical forms, to experience that. Oh, yeah, it sounds good. Some people go, oh, boy, that'd be great. Wait till your God form, right, out of the body. And then the awareness of that you're in the body fades quickly. And so we're drawn to get back into a body to experience it again. So this is why we stay in such gratitude. Doesn't matter what age, 3 years old to 150 to 300, doesn't matter. It's to be in deep gratitude all the time. And it's interesting because we have loved ones, which I mean in physical form, that we interact with in different lifetimes. And we have loved ones that ascend out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we inhabit. So all of their souls are part of our souls, so we never, ever lose connection. So all of their lives are connected to all of our lives because we're all one. And when you look at the Pleiadians, Assyrians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian, and goes on and on and on. The gods in their bodies are part of the gods in our bodies. They're challenged with their egos as well. So we focus on this planet. And there's a lot of us focused on this planet. I don't mean the body, I mean the God within the body. And we look at this planet and we say, it's time to shift the frequencies. Because we all know as gods, the way that a planet ascends and the civilizations with it is they increase their vibrational frequencies along with the planet. Do you think the God within this planet is not increasing its frequencies? Now, there's some of us that aren't going to wake up. Not in this lifetime. But remember, it's a body. The God leaves the body. So there really is no loss, so to speak, unless you're attached to the external world.
It's 2 o'clock.
So you begin to realize that, well, wait a minute, you have no limits. You're omnipotently powerful, and you're eternal. Think about that. And so when you see something that is low frequency, doubtful, stressful, irritation, anger, frustration, fear, and it comes at you, just let it pass through you. You don't engage it, you just let it pass through you. Hey, how you doing? Take a seat. So we become I'm not saying indifferent, but we're not in it. We're not in it. We watch it, we see it, and we continue to increase our vibrational frequencies. That's what's changing this entire planet and the civilizations. Guns, blowing up things, destruction is the material physical world. And we all know none of that has ever done any good at all. So we see something, we sense, we feel, we experience, and we make a choice. We stay in the now. We still the ego mind and the subconscious mind. And we master them. And we direct our vibrational frequencies by being in deep gratitude, deeply eternal love, peace, joy. And we're doing that with this planet. We have been. Now we're going on. We're heading into 5 years. So we're all in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we all know that we're one. Not the body, but the God within them. And we all know that we are love. And we all know that we are God. God source, kingdom of God. And we know that our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to grow, intensify, and expand. Now we form a massive white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. It emanates from the gods that we are. It's pure, deep, eternal love. It's the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. And we're flooding, permeating, and saturating this planet. Infinity and beyond, 24/7. It saturates everything, floods everything, permeates everything. There's no escape from it. On and above and below this planet, all around it. It's like cocooned in this pure, deep, eternal love. Vibrating. Frequencies increasing. As the frequencies increase, guess what happens? There are many who are asleep that will awake. Some of them have not chosen to awake in this lifetime. Now, we begin to ascend above the planet, and this circle of white fire light is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. You could take 1 trillion suns, group them all together, and they would pale in comparison to our light, the gods that we are. Now we come into contact with we call it ocean of glitter. Not like you would depict an ocean of glitter on this planet. Now we describe it with things we've experienced on this planet, and they say, well, how about a grand finale fireworks display, grand finale laser light show display, and then a ballroom globe where the light, you shine on it and it floods the whole room, little tiny etched mirrors. You pull all those together into one massive crescendo and one burst of light. That's pretty near describing the ocean of glitter. Now, when we look at the reflective points in the ocean of glitter, which are everywhere, we notice these little tiny microscopic little tiny microscopic, perfectly etched mirrors. And we enter them. And we notice and discover that all of us, doesn't matter where we appear to be, a billion light years away, doesn't matter. We are discovering, learning, teaching, learning, infinity and beyond. Doesn't it make sense that we're all God, right? And we're all inhabiting different forms and experiencing those different forms and the life, existence in those forms. So it's just a massive learning process. I mean, massive. It's like you learn from everything. And we inhabit different forms. And you probably remember when you were a kid and you would look at something and you'd just say, I wonder what it would be like to be that. And we can do that all the time. We can look at something, focus on it, go in silence, meditation, focus on the breath. And for a brief moment, you'll know exactly what it's like to be whatever it is you are curious about being. Doesn't matter if it's a tree, a rock, a bird, a dog, a cat, a bear, a wolf, the water, fire. Doesn't matter. This is what we do. When you look at this universe, you understand that it's God. All of them are inhabiting different forms. Planets have gods in them, celestials, right? All the different species and civilizations throughout existence and beyond. God's inhabiting physical form. Just feel what that is to know that we are everywhere. We're everywhere and nowhere at once. We're in all things. All things are in us. Without the God, there would be no life. Everything would be inert. And I mean everything. So we're immediately met with, we create columns of light to remind us of things. And like Archangel Raphael carries a column of emerald green flaming healing light, right? We create this to remind us all, the gods that we are in these bodies, that we are the power of healing. It's the same with Archangel Michael. It carries a violet, blue, purple flaming light. That's created to remind us, the gods that we are, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We're then met with a white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are protected. It's a white fire armor, not like armor you'd see on this planet or experience on this planet. It's way beyond that. It comes from pure, deep, eternal love, the gods that we are. The highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. So lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies cannot penetrate it. Closer they get to that high vibrational frequency, they disintegrate. They can't hold their form, so they leave it alone. No demon possessions, no attachments, none of that. Ever. Yet, since we're the only ones with the power for ourselves, you have the power. So if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, anger, fear, worry, hurriedness, envy, revenge, you'll lower your frequency, your vibrational frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor, allowing all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. And then there's all kinds of possibilities. There's demon possession, attachment, and many other things. But if you do decide to do that, you're immediately met with a double column of light. First part of the column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this part of the column to remind us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame, transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, send them to pure consciousness where they're vaporized, they're gone. We then have the second part of the column of light, the violet ray. We created this part of the column light, again, to remind us that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational frequency, harmony, to the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We're then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created, the gods that we are, to remind us that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. Where the sun sets and the sun rises. Oceans, rivers, lakes, streams, trees, forests, soils, animals, clouds in the sky. We're everything. Everything is us. But when we're caught, stuck in the material world, the physical world, we'll look at a sunset and say, isn't that beautiful? Well, that's true in a way, because it's beautiful because it's you, the God that you are. But when you discover, when you journey within choice, and you start to discover who and what you are, then you'll look at that sunset and say, that is the God that I am. And you'll deliver it through the heart mind, not the head, not the ego mind. Whole shift. The whole kit and caboodle. Higher frequencies. Try it, see what happens. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form, if we're carrying physical form, and we hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do it is because we can, and it's a lot of fun. We come into contact with this massive crystalline light tower that we created, the gods that we are. It's larger than the solar system. In the center of the column, we notice this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this humongous golden white ball of light. It, in turn, is surrounded by multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. Now we discover that they create this massive, super bright white, reflecting, glittering, it's like a mist or a cloud. It is absorbed in through our heart mind, and it's like a warm embrace that never ends. And then the golden white ball of light, we discover, is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love. Then well-being. Gratitude. Gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness. Bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now we designed the top of this column so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond, as it's doing right now, flooding this planet, saturating it, permeating it, inside, in it, on it, above it, below it. And what is the golden ocean? It's pure, deep, eternal love. You can feel, you feel the vibrational frequencies continually increasing. This is the process of eradication of all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. Now, we're all drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is a drop, drops of the golden ocean, and the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We all created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds almost 1,900 of our meditations in perpetual motion. That's massive. Every day, 7 days a week, for over 4 years. Hundreds of millions of us on and off planet. Focusing on increasing the vibrational frequency of all the civilizations of this planet, on it, in it, above it, below it, and the planet herself, as she is a god within the planet. That's why this meditative sphere continues to strengthen, expand, and grow, as do the meditations, all flooding this planet, saturating it and permeating it. Now, you can tap into it anytime through meditation, like we do in these global guided meditation calls. Focus on the breath, easy and slowly in through the nose, easy and slowly out through the mouth. And you see the atmosphere, the surface of the planet. And you're watching it through your heart-mind. And you see all this goop, dark lower matter, survival matter frequency. It includes pure, twisted, corrupted evil and souls. And you see all this goop evaporating from the planet. As it's elevating itself. It's just like a vacuum, sucking all of the debris from the planet. And it continues to elevate. And in a field that we've created of pure, deep, eternal love, of golden, white, pink light, you see through it, but it shimmers. And these goop, this black goop, is passing through it. As it does, you see these like flashes, and it's disintegrating. Okay? And the sky is a golden, white, pink light. If it makes it to the sky, it ends in one big flash, and it is no more. And this is what's happening on this planet Earth, Gaia Arya, in this now. And this is what's been going on for over 4 years. And you can see exactly what that's doing, revealing all evil, all pure evil, insanity, everything, every form of it. There's no hidden curtain anymore to hide behind. The dark is absolutely in the pureness of deep, eternal love, light, energy. Can't run, can't hide. It's everywhere. Our light, the God, love, light, energy, is everywhere. It's all love. The world is your mirror. Your response in relation to every being on this planet reflects your inner consciousness. This mirror is always present, always reflecting what you most need to know, allowing you to observe, learn, and grow on your soul's path to angelic development. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath, easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out of the mouth. Be still. This universe has a plan for you. It is divine. It is magnificent. It is your soul's plan as well. Would you like to know it? It will be fully revealed to you the moment you let go of everything in your life and experience your true self in each moment as unbounded and infinite. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We will return here tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, to continue our reverse aging health call. And Saturday, June 4th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation